Well, good to see you, and I trust that God is God is blessing you. And I know that for those that are going through a tough time at the minute, I know that you know, you're doing your best to draw close to God, and we are constantly praying for you. I wanted to let you know about a couple of things that are happening. Firstly, to let you know that Boy's funeral is on Monday at 3 p.m. And so, can you be praying for Deborah and the girls as well? And to say it is being live streamed. So, if you would like to have the link to that live stream, then please contact me, and I'll get it to you. But please be praying for the family. Also, the Alpha course. We had our first session, and that's great. I really encourage you. Can you invite other people? Uh, it's still time to join, and it's really worth it. But we had an excellent first session, so thanks for your prayers for that. Services coming up on Sunday. We've got Steve Moss from the File Christian Service Church leading us. He's a fantastic worship leader. We've got an interview with Tony Crossgree, and we've got a message from the Vice Principal of Regent's Theological College. Again, can I encourage you to share it? I was having a look at the statistics from last Sunday's service, and I know that there were a lot of people that were interested in the tribute to Boy, but by my reckoning, through YouTube and Facebook, there were perhaps 750 views. Now, I don't know exactly what that means, but it's the more it gets shared, the more it gets viewed. And I really want to encourage you to do your best to get the message out, to believe that God's going to impact people's lives. I've had a little discussion with Jem Shaw and John Davis on this earlier on today, and I thought they've got some really good insights on it. So I've included that conversation here. So God bless you, and please contact us if you need anything.
So what do you share on Facebook, Jem?
Well, I usually share the Sunday service because I found that it's really nice to be able to do that, because there's so many people I've invited to church before, and they can't come, or they're busy, or they can't they can't get there. So many different things, or maybe it's because they're kind of a bit nervous about going, sitting on the fence perhaps, or but when it's online, it's nice because it's more personal to them, and they don't have to do anything. They can watch it at their leisure. So it's really nice to be able to invite people to things like that.
Yeah, I must concur with that. And what I found is in being able to invite people and just suggest to them that they can take communion at the same time and have some wine or juice and bread ready. But I've sort of started a process whereby I'm inviting 10 people at a time, giving them the link and saying, come along. And then I'll go back afterwards and say, well, how did you enjoy it? And generally, I would say out of every 10 people, 3 or 4 have actually watched it. Out of those 3 or 4, maybe one might say, yeah, I'll watch again next week. So I include them in the next invite, as it were. So, yeah, a lot of fun.
And you mentioned that one of the reasons for inviting is, in some sense, people might find it more difficult to come to church, but online is easier. Are there any other reasons why you invite people or share?
Because the thing is, I tend to invite everybody anyway, because I think that you don't know from one week to the next who needs that invite. I mean, we don't know what's going on in a person's life at that time. I mean, like a week ago they could have been absolutely fine, and this week I know somebody they know is seriously ill, and they need that encouragement. And so I just find it really good to invite everybody every week, because I don't know their needs, but God knows their needs. And it's nice because to invite somebody to a service is lovely, because they've got the music, the prayer, like John said, the communion. It's just an entire participation, and they don't have to force themselves to even get out of their pajamas to do it.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to our first service, how people are going to arrive, whether it's going to be in pajamas or how they're going to arrive. You know, it's I'm really looking forward. But I think too, also when you're sharing with people, you're opening a door that allows them not to feel threatened by anything that is church or religion orientated, and you can just speak about faith and take it further that way. I've had a lot of people come back to me, particularly from Argentina, who've said to me, "Oh, we don't have services yet, but this is great. We can link to it." South Africa, New Zealand as well. And I think we shouldn't just keep ourselves focused on our own little community. We need to be spreading ourselves out a bit more. And so that for me is very important.
One of the things that I did is I went through my phone contacts and went through and thought who possibly might be interested, and personally sent a text to a whole load of people. So for people that aren't great with, sharing on Facebook or that type of thing, to be able just to personally invite. Can you think of any other ways that people might be able to invite people that anyone that they might think would be interested to a service or to an Alpha course?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about this the other day actually, and I thought, even copying links to Twitter, because I've got a Twitter account and a lot of people on there, I don't even know them, but because we have common interests, we follow each other. And I thought that might be quite nice, because obviously you couldn't invite somebody from New Zealand to church, but you can invite them to our church, interactively. So, I was thinking I'll probably this week put it on Twitter as well. I just think it's wonderful, and copy the YouTube link.
That's great.
I found when I've gone around taking stuff to people, I can actually say to them, listen, I know you can't get out of the house, but how about linking up to our church? And they'll say, well, how do I do that? And I've got one old lady who doesn't understand a mobile phone, never mind computers and that. So what I've done is I record the service and then I take it around to her and she can watch it. It's a little bit different to actually watching online, but it's giving us something different to view. The other aspect I think that we need to work with is we've got such a long list of members of the Gatehouse. I looked at it the other day, I think there's about 350 on the Facebook webpage, Gatehouse page. And I've started including a couple of those people. So you use your media, your social media, to link to that. But I would say that it's got to be vocal, it's got to be social media, and occasionally it might just be a case of I was even thinking of sticking it on the back window of my car, so that people walking past will go, whoa, there's a link for church. Let me go, just something different to try and do it. I think we've got such a vast field opening up in front of us. It's something that when this lockdown ends, I don't believe that we should move away from it. I think it should become an integral part of what we do. But that obviously, Pastor, is, from your guidance, obviously.
Yeah, I think churches all over have come to that conclusion that it's really given people an opportunity to engage with church that weren't engaging with church before, and it'd be, we obviously we need to carry on doing that. Just one final question is, what do you do to give people a reason, say, to watch the service or join the Alpha, rather than just sharing it? Is there anything else that you do to give people a reason for watching it?
Yeah, well, like I say, I tag people, like, personally, so it comes up on theirs. But a lot of the time, I will, not so much the Alpha, but, with the Alpha course, I sort of tagged specific people and said, we'd really love you to join this. I think it would be beneficial for you. But with the service, sometimes after the service, I go back and re-tag people, because I've noticed that there's things in the service that certain people would like my father-in-law loves the music. He doesn't go to church, but he loves our sort of music. I think he was raised Roman Catholic, and so it's very sort of everything's in Latin, so it doesn't really occur to him what things are being said. And so I shared to him the other day the UK blessing, and he thought it was absolutely wonderful. And you know, and he said that to me. He said it was so heartfelt. He said it should be in the charts, you know, and he thought it was absolutely wonderful. And he shared it then, and you know, and it just things like that, you know, personal details are, you know, after the service, I can go back and re-put people in and say, oh, you'd really love this song, or I really think this word would mean something to you, you know. So it's like a personal detail to that person, and I'm not just doing it willy-nilly either, like just for the sake of it, like getting likes or numbers or anything, you know. It's genuinely from the heart, and I think people know that. Absolutely. And they sort of respond to that I've thought of them, you know. I thought of them personally, and it really touches them. And I think that's what Jesus would have wanted. You know, we're supposed to reach out to people.
Yeah, I think it's the personal invite, the direct by name, perhaps mentioning something specific that you think would be of interest to them, and going back afterwards, maintaining the cycle through, so that they don't think, oh, we just invited him, now he's not interested anymore. You go back. But I've also found that because of my Facebook page, I try and add a little bit of humor to my page. And I find people coming on and saying to me, but Christians shouldn't be laughing. And I'm saying, well, why not? We can have humor, you know. There's nowhere in the Bible it says that you have to be, you know, sad.
I think probably what they meant was Christians shouldn't be laughing at your jokes.
I get it now. Nah, they've got to laugh.
That's really fantastic, guys. I really appreciate that, and I trust that I'll, you know, give us some ideas about it also. God bless you.
Yeah, you too.
And you, take care.